Hello friends, today we will discuss a problem from exercise A1.6 and we will see how we can use some of our previously learned concepts in solving this problem. So let's take a look at the problem now. Question number 1. Suppose A plus B is equal to C plus D and A is less than C. Use proof by contradiction to show that B is greater than D. So we have to use proof by contradiction to show that B is greater than D. And let's take a look at the solution and see how we are going to do this. Solution: suppose the contrary, that B is less than D. So for contradiction, the first thing you always do is that assume the negation of the statement that you have to prove. So we have to prove B greater than D and we will assume that B is less than D, and now we'll proceed with our proof. We know that A is less than C. Now we are already aware of this particular thing. It is mentioned right here in the problem itself. So combining both equations, we can conclude what we are going to do is that we are going to combine this equation and this one and this one. So what we have finally is that A plus B is less than C plus D. So this is the final thing that we have got, and now let's move on. And let me put it here for you so that you can refer to it. So A plus B less than C plus D. But it is already given that A plus B is equal to C plus D. So this thing is already given to us in the question. And this here is becoming problematic because this cannot be true because we have already been given this. So now what this means is that this is a contradiction because we have shown A plus B is less than C plus D, but by our hypothesis we have A plus B is equal to C plus D. The contradiction has arisen because of the faulty assumption that B is less than D. Therefore, B is greater than D. So now this is a contradiction which we have here with us, this particular statement, as you can see, and this contradiction has arisen because we have wrongly assumed B to be less than D, and therefore it proves that B should be greater than D because this is definitely not true, and hence we have proved the given statement. So this was it for this particular question. Let's move on to some tips and tricks which will be beneficial for you. So first of all, always read the question properly. Secondly, use the premises given to arrive at the final conclusion. Use all the things that you have been given in the question to arrive at the final solution. And assume the opposite of whatever you have to prove. So like I said earlier, assume the opposite or the negation of the statement what you have to prove, and that is how you do proof by contradiction. I hope that you were able to understand whatever I discussed today and that this video was also fun for you to watch. This was it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.